And to be clear, residents are not supposed to move homegrown produce off their property. It is safe to eat it where it's grown. Now, the California Department of Food and Agriculture estimates that fruit flies could cause more than $19 billion in damage to the state's ag industry. Coming up at 9 on the Primetime Edition, did the extra security that we saw across the Bay Area, did it actually work? Did it cut down on retail theft on Black Friday? Then we head to the South Bay. As with Thanksgiving officially behind us, the holiday decorations and celebrations are now underway. Thank you so much for watching. We have more headlines and weather in minutes here on KPYX Plus.
Season long, join me for a weekly half-hour show highlighting Player of the Week and Fan of the Week. Plus, a complete preview of the next matchup.
The Volkswagen Red and Gold Report, Saturday at 11 on KPYX Plus.
I have a kid. When I see parents who are struggling or kids who are struggling, I really feel all of those stories.
The Late News with Sarah Donchie, tonight at 11.
Good evening, I'm Devin Feely. Your stories tonight on the Primetime Edition.
Business is about building relationships, especially with your community, showing up for them like they show up for you.
The push to get shoppers to think small, the East Bay Market making sure that local businesses aren't lost in the holiday shuffle.
Well, the holiday season is here, and what better way to spend it than here in San Jose at Christmas in the Park. Coming up, we will introduce you to one special family with one very special reason to be here this year.
After a warm Thanksgiving, it feels more like the holiday season. A cool and breezy day today. The rest of the weekend's looking pretty good, though. Details coming up in the First Alert forecast.
Bay Area families among those holding on to hope that their loved ones will be among the next round of hostages released by Hamas.
And meanwhile, protesters demanding a permanent ceasefire in Gaza take their message straight to Black Friday shoppers.
To fight for my family and for the equality that we've been wanting for so long.
From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Primetime Edition on KPYX Plus.
Good evening, I'm Devin Feely. These are tonight's Primetime headlines. Hamas released the first batch of 24 hostages as the ceasefire with Israel went into effect. Of the hostages released so far, 13 were Israeli citizens, all of them women and children. No Americans have been released so far. The Israeli army posted this video showing the bus carrying the hostages as it crossed into Israel. Hamas has agreed to release 50 hostages in exchange for 150 Palestinian prisoners.
We also will not stop until we get these hostages brought home and an answer to their whereabouts.
All across the Bay Area, protests and demonstrations disrupted the Black Friday shopping rush. Our chopper got this video of dozens of pro-Palestinian demonstrators in Emeryville and San Jose. In San Francisco's Union Square, hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters called for a permanent ceasefire in the war between Israel and Hamas. There were similar protests across the country. Pro-Palestinian protesters marched through the Grove Shopping Center in Los Angeles, carrying a giant banner that read, "No business as usual." In Manhattan, thousands of protesters were seen holding signs of the Israeli flag while marching. And the organizers of this march in Chicago say they are hopeful that a temporary pause in the fighting leads to something more permanent. And taking a live look outside at beautiful downtown San Jose, let's go ahead and get a check of our First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan.
Devin, as expected, temperatures were significantly cooler across the Bay Area today compared to the warmth that we had for Thanksgiving, but it was a nice day nonetheless. Captured this beautiful sunset right around 5 o'clock this evening as we look towards downtown Oakland. We did manage to make it up too close to what's normal for this time of year, but again, that's quite a bit cooler than the warm conditions from yesterday. Let's take a look at where high temperatures did top out earlier today, and they were in the